I know some people are frustrated. They're like, Dean, you've been saying this forever. Why hasn't it happened? These things take time. That's why it's not so easy to trade, because you have to be patient and recognize the patterns. You have to be able to see accumulations, distributions, any kind of consolidations for what they are, precursors to big moves. When exactly the big move is going to happen, it's hard to say, but you should be able to recognize what a distribution is. You should be able to recognize what an accumulation is. And if you can do that, you're halfway there. Position yourself accordingly, and then when it happens, it happens. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm in a short, waiting, and once it gets down to my target, I take profit and I flip long, not necessarily in Bitcoin, but in altcoins, which I'm going to segue to right now. Hello everyone, my name's Dean, and let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is January 15th, 2024. And Bitcoin is still, in my estimation, in a strong downtrend. And we may very well get a big move after this happens. Guys, if that interests you, then watch until the very end. I'm going to explain what this is precisely, and obviously we're going to look at altcoins as well. Hope everybody's doing well. It is a national holiday, Martin Luther King Day in the United States. However, the US dollar currency index is still it's still running, although the markets are closed, given that the USDXY is a measure of the US dollar pegged against a basket of foreign currencies. If those foreign currencies are still kind of operational, you're still going to get some motion, you're still going to get some fluctuations in the DXY, even though the American markets are closed. So you can see a few moves here and there, but I don't expect any major moves in the DXY or in crypto generally until tonight, right? The close of the market, which would be around 5:30, which is actually the open of the market, right? Because markets always close around 5:30, open up again around 7:30. So that's when I would expect the major moves to happen. But we can already, if we pay attention, see that Bitcoin is doing something interesting, noteworthy. Okay, so the big story earlier this week was, or actually Sunday and then into this week, was this move right here. Okay, and this is a strong downtrend that I referred to in the intro. Okay, that is a strong downtrend. It is quite impulsive, right? You're going from a high of almost 48K and you're going straight down in, an almost uninterrupted slew of red candles, and you pretty much are just tackling, let's redraw that. You're hitting the bottom of this channel, okay? And this is, let's call it a 40-day channel. So you're going from the top of the channel, right? You've tried and tried and tried to break up and out of the channel. You failed, not enough buyers, and you came down to the bottom of the channel. What I'm seeing, and what I said last episode, was likely that we're going to retest the midline, okay? Midline, and then from that reject. At this point, I don't know that we haven't already retested the midline. I know what you're thinking. Dean, what are you talking about? Like, that's nowhere close. Well, it's nowhere close depending on how you draw your channel, okay? So if you redraw your channel like this, maybe your midline's over here, okay? So, I mean, look, these things, this technical analysis stuff, as precise as we can get sometimes, a lot of it is educated guessing. So we're doing our best. We're not sort of presuming to know exactly what's going to happen at every moment. It keeps us humble. Keeps us humble. But again, redrawing the channel like so, actually like this, right? Something like this. Maybe that's a bit much. maybe something like this. You could say you're close to the midline. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't even say that that is a midline retest. If anything, I would say that that is some sort of a wave 4 retest where you're coming and going, and this is an intra-wave correction here, and the midline retest, or what was supposed to be the midline retest, was this, but it actually overshot it. Okay, I don't know, but in any case, you've retested the tops and the bottoms of this channel multiple times. So I think technically we'd be fine breaking this channel to the downside, okay? And when I said this in the intro, I was referring to a break of this channel. A break of this 40-day channel will yield the big move that gets everybody's attention. On social media, most people are of the opinion that this is indeed Bitcoin, a Bitcoin correction. Okay, I see some wild things, people saying it's going to 15K or whatever. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to speculate 15K. I just don't see any technicals indicating that kind of retracement. But I have seen 32K by other analysts, and so I think that makes the most sense because that is our 0618 retracement, and that's what we've been targeting for quite some time. So once we break this channel, right, this has clearly been holding the price action for a decent amount of time, 40 days, as we said. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we got one fell swoop of a move down to this target of 32.5, 32K, and then you can give it some time to accumulate before you start going back up. But I've said this before, and I've said it for a while. 32K thereabouts is the target, and I know some people are frustrated. They're like, Dean, you've been saying this forever. Why hasn't it happened? These things take time. That's why it's not so easy to trade, because you have to be patient and recognize the patterns. You have to be able to see accumulations, distributions, any kind of consolidations for what they are, precursors to big moves. When exactly the big move is going to happen, it's hard to say, but you should be able to recognize what a distribution is. You should be able to recognize what an accumulation is. And if you can do that, you're halfway there. Position yourself accordingly, and then when it happens, it happens. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm in a short, waiting, and once it gets down to my target, I take profit and I flip long, not necessarily in Bitcoin, but in altcoins, which I'm going to segue to right now. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, comment, subscribe, buy me a coffee. There's a pinned comment to how to buy me a coffee. It's a great way to support the channel. Get in on my daily updates, right? Sometimes I don't do video updates and I just do kind of text updates multiple times a day. And there's also a membership which you can subscribe to, which gives you access to altcoin, like specific altcoin analyses. So if you want me to look at CHR or some random altcoin that you're invested in or you're thinking of investing in, and you value my opinion, I can do that for you, and you get one per month, and I'll send you the recording of that analysis in a few business days. Guys, let's get back into this analysis. So altcoins, what do I see in the altcoin space? So let me say this. There are some altcoins that may buck this trend, but in the interest of prudence and, conserving one's capital, I wouldn't go long in any assets until this happens. Not Bitcoin, not any altcoins. I will not go long on any assets. The safest trade right now is a short trade in whatever asset. Like, just technically, statistically speaking, obviously there's always something that can buck the trend. There's always some random shitcoin that's going to pump regardless, right? But by and large, most things are going to draw down, and draw down in a big way, in the immediate short term, in the medium term. And I think the wise, prudent thing is to wait until things have put in that big move that Bitcoin's going to do, and then altcoins are going to follow suit, get to support, then flip long. Okay? And this is what I'm seeing in altcoins. I'm seeing this ABC flat correction, which has a target of the previous resistance, which would be flipped into new support. So going on the daily time frame, you can see that that's essentially the top of our 525-day channel. I would say that that is a very prudent, very high probability support level for altcoins. Obviously, this is an aggregate chart, all altcoins meshed together. But this, one of the reasons you want to track this chart is because it gives you a good idea as to what's likely happening in the space. Altcoins were going up for 50 some odd days. And then for the past 40 some odd days, they've been going up and down and up and down, up and down, not necessarily giving you a clear, definite move, right? In the aggregate again. So this drawdown, this correction should give us finally the resolution of these corrections. And then what I would look out for, and I've said this before, is altcoins. Once we hit this, some altcoins are going to be very quick to consolidate, reaccumulate, and then blast off, because every altcoin is going to be a bit different. So that's what I would look for. That's what I would look for in the altcoin space. So that's pretty much it. That's my general Bitcoin and altcoin update. Really quickly, let's look at the US dollar currency index. Like I said, market's closed today, but you're getting a bit of movement just because, international markets for the franc, the Swiss franc and the British pound and all that stuff, they're still open. The Canadian dollar. So, we're looking out for a move up, a quick move up in the US dollar currency index. And that makes sense, right? So the DXY has been in this, what I would call reaccumulation, for some time. You can see pretty much since the beginning of the year. So about 2 weeks, you've been going up and down in this channel. And I'm seeing a break up and out of this channel. Okay, if at all a corrective break, but I'm seeing a move up and out of this channel. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to be a proper clean break, but a move up and out of this channel makes sense to me. Okay, it makes sense to me because what I'm seeing is you've hit the bottom of the channel once, twice, and here it's kind of like you put in a complex flat correction, something like a WXY or something like that, or even a WXYXZ, and then you're matriculating up and through the channel. So that's what I'm seeing. I'm looking at the DXY and I'm seeing an eventual move up, which would coincide with Bitcoin's move down. And last but not least, Bitcoin dominance is giving us some support where we thought no support existed. So I said in last episode, I don't know, I don't see any conspicuous support at this level. But I stand corrected. Reanalyzing this chart on the 4-hourly time frame, you can see that there is some intermittent support here, okay? And so, if anything, Bitcoin dominance may give us a small move up here before rejection back down, okay? You could go all the way up, sure, but I'm seeing some sort of reaction at this level because we've been at this level for quite some time, and it looks like some sort of accumulation for Bitcoin dominance to go back up. And remember what that means. Bitcoin dominance going up means Bitcoin's gaining against altcoins, and that happens when Bitcoin's going down and altcoins are going down even more. So that's what I think is going to happen. Guys, Again, if you got value, please like, share, and subscribe. Buy me a coffee. The link's down below, pinned in the comment. Have a happy holiday if you're American. And if not, I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you next time. Take care.